This is Charlie Parsons Boxing Social. We're here at Abu Dhabi, the W Hotel, for the launch party of Bivol against Ramirez. A fantastic card that goes down at the Etihad Arena Saturday night. A good introduction from myself.
Amazing.
Frank, how are you, mate?
We were just talking about how you've had it off, but really we've all had it off, haven't we?
We have all had it off, but this is, you're used to this, Frank. You're the big dog. This is like I'm humble beginnings, mate.
Never get used to it. It's the worst thing you can do. Once you get used to it, it all becomes normal.
Let's talk about what we've got Saturday night. We've got a really special card at the Etihad Arena. Making it. Oh, is it too bright?
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay, all right. Under the lights. Look, Bivol Ramirez, fantastic fight. Bivol obviously goes into this fight as a bit of a favourite, but I've been saying to everyone, Zurdo's a serious lump. I don't know how he made 168. He's now up at 175 pounds. He's going to try and get in there, impose himself, use that strength, push himself onto Bivol. It's a real tough fight.
100%. You say I don't know how he made 168. When I first saw him here 8-9 weeks ago, I don't know how he makes 175.
Crazy. That picture of him and Bivol.
Yeah, he's huge. He's huge. So, but yeah, look, great fight. What is he, 44-0, Zurdo? But Dimitri Bivol, we all know what Dimitri Bivol can do. He showed it in May this year against Canelo. He went in there and beat the man that no one else could beat. So look, Bivol's a huge talent, a great fighter, and I think has still got so much more to come, so much we haven't seen from him. Zurdo's gonna come in there and give it his all. This is his opportunity. He's waited a long time for this. I think he's been in the WBA mandatory position for a long time, and he's got his opportunity now to come in and take everything away from Dimitri Bivol. We've seen all the talk in the build-up. I think it's a great fight. I think it's actually one of the best fights in boxing this year.
I was going to say, it's quite refreshing having this sort of Abu Dhabi deal that you've got going on, because it means that we can get these really, really stacked cards. And also someone like Zurdo, who probably needed this shot. A lot of times, last couple of years, people have questioned him for not having those top fights. He now gets this mandatory in a fight that can be delivered on a really, really big bill.
You're saying for Zurdo there? Sorry, I didn't hear you. Yeah, I mean, look, he's called for this opportunity for a long time. He hasn't, just picking up your corona there, Parsons, are you? Sorry, the interviewer is just behind the camera.
Multitask.
Yeah, just multitasking. What is that, alcoholic free?
Oh, funny.
No, look, he's wanted this opportunity for a long time. He hasn't shied away from it. He hasn't shied away from this challenge. And as soon as he got the chance, he jumped on it. There was a lot of talk. We were looking to make the Boatsi fight. Bivol will fight anyone. Bivol's taken on any challenge. He's not been sort of hiding out the way from Zurdo. He's just had bigger opportunities. So look, big opportunity on Saturday night for Zurdo to come in here and upset it.
Probably not the easy fight that Bivol, well, I say easy fight, but Bivol after that Canelo fight, you think, let's just get him out, keep him active against sort of a stay busy opponent. Instead, he's thrown right into the deep end.
I don't think Dimitri wants easy fights, to be honest. He doesn't want stay busy fights. He wants real fights. He's one of those, he's not about the money. For him, it's about having the best opportunity and the best fights. He wants to go in there and get the Beterbiev fight as well. That's an interesting one for him down the line. So let's see how things play out. But he's ready to go.
You mentioned Beterbiev, but I imagine that rematch with Canelo is something that the whole team at Matchroom are talking about. Eddie's mentioned it. You guys want that over the line next if he can get through this fight?
Which fight? Sorry.
Canelo fight.
Yeah, look, the Canelo fight's a massive rematch. We saw the first fight, the way it went. Bivol. Great performance. I mean, there's also talk, could that happen at 168 as well? That'd be an interesting fight at 168, but Bivol's fully focused on what's ahead of him now. He's got the opportunity to go in there, a great performance at 175 against Zurdo, and then after that, let's see where it goes. He's about real fights. He wants real, proper fights. So, he'd take the Beterbiev fight tomorrow.
How are conversations with Canelo? Are you looking to renew and extend that contract with him? Does it look like that will be the likely outcome? I imagine, obviously, PBC and a lot of the guys will be coming in hard for him, but I know that you guys have got a very good working relationship with Canelo team, Eddie Reynoso. Does it look like you guys will extend?
Yeah, look, we've got a great relationship. We promoted, I think, 5 out of Canelo's last 6 fights and had opponents in 2 or 3 of the fights before that as well. So, it's a pleasure working with Sal and Eddie Reynoso. They're a great group of people to work with. I think we've delivered for them as well. I think you only have to look at the events we've delivered over the last few years, the biggest nights, and I think Canelo's happy. So hopefully we can continue to do that.
Rattle through the rest of the card. Chantel Cameron takes on Jessica McCaskill for what is just an incredible fight for all the marbles, and obviously Zelfa Barrett replaces the injured Joe Cordina in a really, really good fight for the IBF title with Rakimov. Rakimov, someone that might go under the radar for maybe some of your more casual boxing viewers, but put in a really good fight with Jojo Diaz, and sort of one of them names where, you know, I think in boxing sometimes we've got these guys where they're not from a big boxing country, but they come in and they can prove an upset, and obviously I think Zelfa's got it going for him in a hard test this Saturday.
Yeah, look, like as you say, Cameron McCaskill, great fight, undisputed, you know, the 140 and 147 champions. Great fight, and a fight we've been working on for a long time to try and get over the line. I'm glad we could deliver it for both of them because they deserve this big night. And the winner, whoever comes on from here, has got some big opportunities moving forward as well. Zelfa Barrett, as you say, stepping in quite late in the day to replace Joe Cordina. Rakimov, very talented fighter. Very tough fight for Zelfa Barrett, and you know the winner of this goes on to fight Joe Cordina after. So looking forward to that one. You got Galal Yafai, who obviously was supposed to be on the card earlier this month, moved over.
Return of Cal
Yafai's brother as well. I didn't finish before you think I've forgotten. You got Akib Fiaz on the card as well. He's brought about 100 people over here. Yeah, Campbell Hatton as well returns. And then we've got the local guys as well. 3 local UAE fighters on the card. And it's good to see because that's, you know, as much as we want to bring big time boxing here, the most important thing is growing the sport of boxing here. And the way you do that is with local grassroots talent. And that's a big part of the, you know, the long-term game plan for us and Abu Dhabi.
Let's move on to the heavyweight landscape. We saw Tyson Fury, I don't know if you would have seen it, done an interview with the True Geordie, a YouTuber. So I imagine you would have seen the comments made, sort of what Tyson Fury said. It looked like maybe he wasn't too happy at the start of the interview, but True Geordie was sort of asking those pressing questions. I'll just sort of leave it with you. Obviously the interview ended how it did with Tyson cussing him out. What were your thoughts on that whole thing?
I only saw like 20 seconds of the clip at the end, to be honest. The bit on Twitter where he was going mental. So I don't know the context of what they were talking about.
What do you make of that though?
His head seems to have gone. You don't often see it with Tyson Fury though, do you? Unless he's just trying to gain a bit of attention because he needs a bit of attention to sell tickets for his fight.
Fair play. Anthony Joshua moving on. Looks like December 17 won't be the case now for you guys. Obviously we know that Usyk fight, it was sort of, I think it was said for April and then it ended up being pushed back to August when it was. I know Anthony Joshua is something that yourself, Eddie Hearn and AJ himself has mentioned is keeping that activity. For AJ, is there a worry that, I know you guys are looking at February, March now, but I imagine you behind closed doors are really saying like we can't let this go any later, we need to keep him active.
Yeah, look, AJ's actually going to be out here as well, you know, we're catching up with him. The aim is to get him back out as soon as possible. December was always the plan. Unfortunately, didn't all play out. But now we're focused on February, March, you know, and then keep him regularly in the ring. It was always the aim to get him active again as soon as possible. A couple of reasons why it didn't, but we're back up and running, and yeah, look, we're aiming to get something out there by the end of this month about what's next.
Just a few on Conor Benn. Obviously, we saw the news last week that they had the 2 failed VADA tests. Why weren't we made aware of the 2? We were only told at the time of the 1. I know a lot's been spoke about the legal process behind closed doors, but when that 1 first failed test comes out, why aren't the public made aware of that second one?
It's all to do with the different testing regimes. Look, I can't really win because I sit here and say the legal, this, that, the other, and everyone goes, oh, what a load of rubbish. So it's very difficult, in truth, because it would be so much easier if we could just say everything and Conor Benn could say everything, but right now we can't. The British Boxing Board of Control, who adjudicate the sport, run the sport in the UK, were aware of the tests. And ultimately it comes down to them and their decisions, and it always would have done. They, at the end of the day, we weren't going down another commission, another route. They were reviewing the tests. It was with them. And you know, like I say, I would love to go into a load more detail, as would Conor Benn, but there's only so much I can say. You know, I don't represent Conor Benn in this. Conor Benn has his own legal team who are dealing with this, and you know, it comes to a point where I can't say much more. So like, everyone asks the questions, and if I answer the questions with trying to dodge around it, it's like everyone says, oh, what a load of shit. So I'm just trying to be completely honest so that I don't get a stick for not answering the questions exactly how the people at home would like me to answer the questions.
Finally, for me, obviously, makes sense. I mean, we'll let the public make sense of it, and I suppose try and understand the situation. We saw that Conor last week came out giving 2 articles, one to the Sun, one to the Times, I believe. I believe he's doing something with Coogan, but Eddie has spoke about him coming out and addressing the media. For people like us, other YouTube outlets, we want to speak to Conor. We want to sort of get as much as we can. Is there going to be an opportunity for us to speak to Conor and ask him about this situation ourselves?
Yeah, I'm sure there will be. As you say, he's already done 2 interviews. I'm sure he's going to be planning to do others, so I'm sure you'll see more in due course from him. Like I say, he would love to have spoken about it on day one, but I said it the other day, he has to make the right decisions for his career, and they might not just be talking to Parsons because Parsons wants to hear about it.
That a little slide dig.
No, that was actually a joke, but you get what I'm saying. Like, what he wants to say to the public doesn't necessarily help what he's trying to do to actually, you know, like, it's all well and good saying things to you, but if that could do something and affect his long-term plans with his career, he has to do it the right way. Not that he's trying to hide from anything. He wants to just do things in the right procedural way.
Frank, top man, thank you for speaking to me at Boxing Social. Catch you throughout the week.